Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News, Friday evening edition. Yes, guys, for me, it is already Friday late in the evening, so guess down below, put your best guess, what am I gonna do, alright? Comment down below what you think I'm gonna do on a Friday evening, or, I guess comment nothing if you think I wouldn't do anything. But no, let's get on with the video. We got some crazy XRP stuff today, so keep watching. First of all, huge pivotal step from the NYDFS. Let's all be part of the solution for the global climate crisis and not exacerbate or something like that. I looked it up already and it said make a problem or situation or something like that even worse. I still don't know how to pronounce it though. It says it right here. Exacerbate. So I didn't really get much further than that. The problem, as more companies, Square, RH, MicroStrategy, PayPal, hold/provide services for Bitcoin, critical to mitigate carbon impact and use more energy efficient assets. Now this thing came after Linda Lacewell has replied to Zachary Warmbroth, who first said, New York's top financial regulator is directing banks to start taking climate change risks into consideration when managing their operations. It's the boldest move yet by a U.S. official to impose climate-related rules on financial firms, period. Then Linda said, with prior letter to insurers and this letter to banks and other financial institutions, including crypto, all NYDFS regulated entities must address the financial risks of climate change. There is no time to wait. So I don't want to ask you guys if you think this is, good or bad. I guess what we can fetch from it already is that XRP is a lot more, environmentally friendly than Bitcoin. Let's briefly dive into what David Schwartz has said over on Twitter. A couple of days ago, but still very much relevant. He said, XRPL was designed to be fundamentally different from other public blockchains, and for good reason. Proof-of-work mechanisms are transactionally focused, complex, and not designed to evolve. A consensus validation system like XRPL better ensures the ledger can make safe forward progress. Consensus also better protects against a double spend problem and unintentional forking. This is why development of XRPL consensus algorithm would never stop. One example of this is the negative UNL, which was recently proposed to ensure improved decentralization and resilience of the XRPL doesn't come at the cost of increased risk of validator outages causing problems. Unlike what Ethereum has been trying to attempt in its move to a proof of stake, negative UNL would dramatically improve the consensus mechanism without negatively affecting the uptime or governance of the network. Pending public testing, we could see negative UNL functionality introduced for review in the XRPL 2.0 release, but it's ultimately up to the community to ensure the network continues forward progress in both senses. So, kind of what he addressed here is that, XRP is a lot better than Bitcoin and Ethereum, even though Ethereum tried to go away from this proof of work to a proof of stake. Whenever it does that, or whatever they're going to be planning, it is going to hurt them in functionality in a certain way, shape, or form. With XRP and the changes they are proposing, it's not going to hurt it whatsoever. It's actually going to be making it better in every single way. So from that perspective, XRP has the advantage and will keep that advantage. And to kind of explain to you guys what the advantage is here, there is a growing concern for climate change and for power, electrical, climate, environment types of things. A lot of people are talking about that on a day-to-day basis right now. Again, you can have your own opinion on that. Maybe you think it's dumb. Maybe you think it's very, very nice. Point is, though, it is becoming a bigger issue. And at this point, you can see that Brad is also very smart by saying, let's move with that. And here they're kind of, calling it out in a positive sense for even Bitcoin. But in the end, he's just kind of clarifying that they also think it's important, which is a very different approach than Coinbase would take, but I think it's the best one to just move along with these regulators, move along with these guys that are trying to make change, because if you're going to go against all of them, you're going to really put yourself in a negative light, and by doing all of this, I think they're getting themselves some some good and juicy goodwill. Having said that, Lord XRP posted on Twitter a couple of screenshots. Authority and mandate for Federal Reserve banks to maintain digital dollar wallets for the general public. In general, all Federal Reserve banks shall, not later than January 1st, make digital wallets available to all residents and citizens of the United States and to business domiciled in the United States. Then we got most relevant for wholesale crypto or for wholesale CBDC. As an example here, crypto assets designed for inter or intra-bank payments and settlements. Example, XRP. Then we got here remittance transfers under the Electronic Fund Transfers Act Regulation E. We talked about this E before. By the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau on the 6th of... Wait. Is this... How can I know if it's the month or the day first? I mean, if this comes from the US, I think it's switched up, right? Because you guys over in the US have a strange system where it's month first and then date. You know, you weirdos. In Europe, you know, we have a better system, at least in my opinion, of first going for the day and then the month. On the contrary, I could kind of understand how the month could be more important than the day. Because, I mean, in general, you can kind of skip the day for these bigger things. I mean, if it happened the 6th or the 7th of June, nobody really cares. But June might be a very important part. On the contrary, though, then maybe the year would be the most important because, well, I mean, you know, the 1st of January 2019 or the 2nd of January 2042, you know, is a pretty big difference, but the day itself does not really change that much. So it's kind of interesting to think about that one. So I don't know why the U.S. has switched that up. Besides the point, though, I just wanted to say I don't know which date this would be. If this is the 6th of May or the 5th of June, who knows? Platform to support cross-border money transfers as well as virtual currency XRP, which can be used to effect settlement of those transfers. The point is, follow this right now, and even I saw a lot of guys talk about this ISO, but really what this is talking about here at the ones we just saw is how the standard is changing just a little bit, right? I'm kind of afraid sometimes whenever I look at it that it's like, whatever they're saying, whatever they're talking about cross-border payments and whatnot, it's kind of strange that that people sometimes don't realize that XRP or Ripple are mentioned in the whole thing, you know? Listen, for example, to these ones, right? It's so freaking positive for Ripple and XRP. Everybody getting digital wallets, all right, means they're so easily accessible, the wallets, and people have a way into crypto. From that point on forward, it's really about getting them to, you know, move over into a crypto they like. But as long as they got those digital wallets, we got the freaking golden ticket, guys. And think about this one still, all right? They got themselves digital wallets, and they got themselves the US CBDC. They're still gonna want some freaking Haloakuku CBDC and some miscellaneous world place, I don't even know, 67.4301 longitude and 60 latitude. In that place, they still will have a CBDC, which, again, no other pairs are connected to. If XRP has got that pair, we're done for. The only thing that can stop them is if the US were to go on a rampage and, you know, really kind of lick some coochie and try to get all other currencies to pair up to the US CBDC. However, again, I see that kind of unlikely, as I don't think China would ever accept that. I don't think a couple of other countries, again, would really accept that or like that. A decentralized asset, yes. Otherwise, not really going to be happening. So then your whole process is going to be, you change it over from your Ukabuka currency to, again, from the Ukabuka CBDC to the Ukabuka currency. Then the Ukabuka currency, you can most likely switch somewhere. That's not going to be that hard, most likely. There will always be at least one different pair from which you can go on. And then once you got a new, I guess maybe let's say US dollar, then you can switch that over into US dollar CBDC or US CBDC, which is a rather cumbersome process, right? I think anybody could get that. XRP could take that all over and fix it all, though. Then, though, XRP Crypto Quebec, who's always there with the freaking crazy articles, does it feel like a classic October crash? 1987, Dow plunges 508.32. By the way, guys, make sure you check out the Growth Masters Academy. I got some crazy stuff coming for there, but I want to know some feedback from y'all, okay? Like, do you like this stuff I'm posting? Like, I've only made one video, but if you guys don't like it, I'm just going to quit. It's literally just to help you guys out. I saw like 5 comments, but I want to see like 10 people maybe say, you know, continue this or please don't. I don't need many. I just want a couple of you guys to give me some insights, into what I should be doing, because I don't want to waste my time on those things. I mean, there's 5, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing it, but maybe if we can get 10 people to say yeah or no, I have a better idea of what I should be doing. So check out the Growth Masters Academy. There's some money-making guides on there pretty soon. Does it feel like a classic October crash? 1987, Dow plunges 508.32 crash. Today, October 29th, Dow plunges more than 900 points. Do you think Wall Street has started to panic behind the scenes? Now, I'm going to be talking about this a little bit more later today, as the crash here is really becoming a lot more important than some are making it out to look. On the contrary, though, many people are talking about it right now. It is just very, very bad. It's a pretty heavy crash. It is a pretty heavy movement. I think a lot of it can be allocated to, of course, the very strange situation with the election. But again, I'll be talking about that in just a second. What is important to mention, though, is that millions of Americans are behind on rent. Mass evictions could follow. On the channel, I like to sometimes explore the possibility of, a system, a new financial reset, where XRP is the main currency handling everything, right? And to a certain degree, it's very dumb to think of that because, well, XRP is not going to become the one world currency anytime soon, all right? David Schwartz said that, and logically thinking, no, it's going to be very difficult for them to do. But if we're sometimes talking about the US and the way they're arranging things right now, an easy way to get rid of some of that debt by, for example, going for an XRP standard and a hyperinflating, there's a couple other ones we could go for, by the way. It's just an example. Would, theoretically speaking, get rid of your debt rather easily, all right? We've also said before that XRP is a potential for the world reserve digital currency that could be coming in the future. That's, again, why they chose the high amount of coins and the lower kind of price. Yeah, I'm also kind of sometimes wondering how that would affect the US. What if the US were not to be the world currency anymore? Would they be better or would they be worse? As of this point, though, they're in a very, very bad position because of the massive QE. And a couple of sources like even the Fed, and I think just the important guys over in the US have said before that they're kind of bankrupt. They're never going to run out of money officially, nominally. So QE is always a possibility, but the effectivity will go down, and really the debt is just so high up where it doesn't really make sense to get it up higher because you're going to wreck the global economy, or at least your national economy, completely to shreds. However, this article here said millions could really lose their homes, and if you think about that, then maybe this idea of us going back to the big crash of a very long time ago is not even that crazy of a day. It's not even that crazy. Now that I've read this as well. Moving on, though, Bitcoin suddenly slides 4% as Bank of America predicts a 20% stock market crash. The price of Bitcoin abruptly dropped 4% from the day's peak as the uncertainty in the stock market intensified. As of this point, I still think a lot of people are correlating Bitcoin and stocks, where it's like, whenever these stocks go down, people are like, well, let's drop out of our investments. When people are negative towards the stock market, they're like, let's stop investing. Let's go to a safe haven, the US dollar, for example. Now, a good part about it is a lot of those guys will eventually learn a very, very, very big lesson that fiat is not equal to safe. On the contrary, a very negative thing is that these guys are expecting Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto like XRP to not react positively to a massive crash in the stock market, which I think is kind of stupid. If you start to think about why these cryptos were created, they should, theoretically speaking, do very, very well when the stock market crashes. But ultimately, I don't really worry because I have the long-term vision. I have that long-term kind of mentality where it's like, it can do bad for the next maybe 1 year, or even if something very bad happens in the stock market, 1.5, maybe 2 years, eventually it'll slide back up though. It will get back up there. So I don't really worry about it. A lot of people said Bitcoin would never go above 10K anymore once it was at that $3,000 mark. Right now we're at 13,000. So yeah, you can't really make that argument again with me. I don't really buy that anymore. I think a lot of things that nobody ever thought was possible are still possible. Bitcoin going to 50,000, I still see it as very much possible. 80,000, 90,000. XRP going to $4, $5, I see it all as possible. It's all in the game. It's all going to be coming. Not financial advice, my thoughts, and that is it. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And if you put down below Crystal, All right, write crystal down below. I'll give you a cookie.